Hi, I'm Ishank, and in this video we will analyze if you should move abroad. We will analyze 5 major factors and 3 minor factors and see if it makes sense for you. In this video, I will compare India, my home country, with Canada, the country that I'm in right now. And spoiler, if you stick till the end, I will tell you 2 minor factors where India wins drastically. Every year, more than 2 million people, they leave their homes, they leave their families, leave everything behind in search of better lives. You see, at the end of the day, everybody wants to live a fulfilling life. But how do you decide at the end of the day if life is fulfilling, if a person is happy, and if wellness can be measured? How do you decide that? You see, in the last decade, over 5 million people were surveyed in 170 countries to analyze if they were happy or not, and if they were, on which factors were they basing their decision on. And these are the factors we will be discussing in this video. So what we are going to do with these 5 factors is we are going to play a small game, and it's going to be very interesting. We are going to compare India to Canada, and we'll see which country wins in all the big 5 factors and 3 small factors. And by the way, a disclaimer here, this is based on my judgment, my perception. So use the same points, but choose for yourself. Factor number 1 is community. Now you see, this is a double-edged sword, and I'll tell you exactly why. India mein, there are a few people who have this bad habit of poking their nose into someone else's business. आंटियां बोलती है, बेटा तुम कहाँ थे, किसके साथ थे, लड़की तुम कहाँ गई थी, किसके साथ गई थी, रात को कितने बजे आए थे, तुम कितना कमाते हो, मेरा बेटा इतना कमाता है, तुम क्या करते हो, मेरा बेटा ये करता है. People have this weird habit, and luckily you will not find that thing here. People here, they mind their own businesses, but at the same point, people, they lack warmth. Now I would agree कि इंडिया में लोग रोक टोक ज्यादा करते हैं, but at the same time they have the warmth. Now being an only child, I've been alone all my life, and to be honest, I don't really care too much about community. And लोग अगर बोलते हैं तो बोलते रहे, I don't care anyway. So in this point, I think Canada wins for me. So Canada gets 0.1, India gets 0. Factor number 2 is social, which comprises of 2 parts: friends and family. And to be honest, I miss both. I really miss my parents, and I truly miss my friends. I remember back in the day when me and my friends, we all got our jobs, we still used to hang out in the evenings. You know, COVID का time था, work from home था, and time का पता ही नहीं लगता था कैसे निकल जाता था. We used to go out, have food, and we used to talk about the same jokes we used to talk about in school, in college, and it was a great time, and I truly miss that. आगे जाके I don't know क्या हो सकता है क्या नहीं. I've realized कि the way I'm structuring my life and the way I'm planning things right now, I will be able to call my family here, but I don't know about my friends. Maybe we meet like they meet in the movies, Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara, maybe once a year. We plan something very adventurous. That's something that I truly miss. So in this case, India gets 0.1 and Canada does not get a point here. Factor number 3 is work. Now this part is very important because an average career lasts for about 40 years, which is a huge amount of time. Talking about work culture, I've realized it's much better here compared to India. यहाँ पे आपको इतना exploit नहीं किया जाता, इतना ज़्यादा काम नहीं कराया जाता. You are paid fairly compared to India, and the work culture and the way you are managed, the way you are talked to is very polite and very better as compared to India. So in this part, Canada gets a point, but India does not. So after 3 points, the score is Canada 2 and India 1. Point number 4 is physical, which comprises of multiple factors like food that you eat, water that you drink, air that you breathe in, or general wellness facilities like gym and playgrounds and parks, etc. First, let's talk about facilities like gyms and parks. We have public facilities, public pools that are free. There are parks in every other street here. Big, beautiful parks, and most of the parks have ponds. Very beautiful. Talking about gyms, to be very honest with you, I come from a small city in India, Amritsar in Punjab, and we have decent gyms there, but nothing as grand as what we have here. I mean, mere gym mein, there are escalators, there are 20 different machines for one body part, and it's so huge, people don't really bump into each other. And there's also a boxing part in the gym downstairs where I box on the alternate days, and it's great. Talking about food, there are multiple cuisines here. So I have tried American, I've tried Greek, I've tried Mediterranean, and Indian to hai hai, which is a great facility. I can try multiple things from multiple countries, and I can see actually what it feels like to have multiple cuisines. That experience is truly amazing. And वो जो चीज इंडिया में नहीं थी. So in this factor, the unanimous winner is Canada. The last major factor is financial, which means how much money can you make. And this shouldn't be a surprise, but you can make a lot of money here. There are a lot of opportunities. Just to put things into perspective, an average Uber driver in North America makes $75,000 a year. Compare that to India. Huge difference. Not only do you have immense number of opportunities here, but you can also use immense amount of leverage that is available in the system, which means that if you use the same talent, or if you have the same talent in India versus the same talent here, the person here will do a lot better. And that is why Canada wins in this point. Now let's talk about the minor factors. Now these factors matter, but not as much as the major factors, but still you should consider them. So the first minor factor is infrastructure. And to be honest with you, it's not even a comparison. India is at least 20 years behind Canada when it comes to infrastructure and development. There's a reason why Canada is called a developed country. I've been in Canada for about 18 months now, but there are still times where I see something cool and I'm so amazed looking at it. It just beats my comprehension. Now, I've talked to a lot of people who debate here that India has a similar infrastructure and you would kind of get the same things over there. But the logical fallacy here is that those people are comparing decent lifestyles in India to very below average lifestyles here. And after analyzing and thinking about this for a long time, I realized that the people who were saying this were making very little money here and living average lives here. So this is not a fair comparison. In fact, if you want to compare, you should compare both the highs or both the lows. How can I compare this? I have my mamu who lives in Kitchener and he's very rich. And it's just very evident when I see his lifestyle versus the lifestyle of other rich people that I've seen in India. It's a huge difference. So that's why Canada wins in this point. Minor factor number 2, which is weather. Now weather here is awful. Oh my god. सुबह धूप निकली होगी and दोपहर तक बर्फ पड़ जाएगी. सुबह 20 डिग्री होगा, रात तक 0 डिग्री हो जाएगा. You can never tell. The weather here is so unpredictable, and the fact that it gets so cold in winters as low as -40 degrees, it's horrendous. Now the weather in India was a lot better, although we did not have central air conditioning to protect us from the harsh weather. But anyway, overall the weather in India, I think it's much better. That's why in this point India wins. Now the third minor factor and the last one is culture. And a few things about here are very surprising to me, since this is a mostly liberal country and India is mostly a conservative country, and especially I was raised in a conservative family. So things like raise the taxes or gender is fluid, and when I see men wearing crop tops, that seems a little weird to me. Now, just to be clear here, I am not against the LGBTQ community and the liberals. I am not against them. It's just that I was raised in a certain community for about 23 years. So it's going to take some time for me to adjust, if you understand. Politically, I do not lean right and I do not lean left. I try to stay in the middle. I like some values from the left, I like some values from the right. And this is something that I do not like too much about Canada and the government, that it leans far left. And hence, in this point, India wins. So now you can see the final score on the screen. Maybe now you understand why I left India and moved to Canada. Again, this decision is subjective. This is based on my perspective. You can take the same points which have scientific background and judge for yourself. By the time that I left India, I was 23 and I was making 18 lakhs a year. Now I just turned 26, and by this time I would have been making 35 lakhs. Now to some people that seems like a bad decision. They say कि यार Ishank तू ठीक तो कर रहा था, क्यों इधर आ गया, क्या फायदा हुआ? But I am doing a lot better now, just in terms of numbers. Even if you compare, include everything, I'm doing better now. And this is the perspective that I've always had in my life, that okay, I am doing well here, but how can I improve? How can I do better? Maybe that's something that I can teach you through this channel. I hope this video helps you take the right decision. I know it is a big decision. Sometimes you have to take a big loan, keep your house as the collateral, or sometimes you have to spend the hard-earned savings of your parents, and it's very hard. It's a very big decision. So analyze the points and choose for yourself. Till then, aim higher, be better, and I'll see you in the next video.